Hey there, Fletch from All Things Overlanding here, and today I'm going to be talking about this VTOMAN FlashSpeed 1500 power bank. This thing is massive, it's expandable, it's got 12 different ports on it, so it has tons of options. You can use it as a jump starter, you can use it as an uninterrupted power supply, you could power your house with this thing. So I wanted to walk you through some of the features that come with this. I'm going to kind of show you everything that comes in the box, and I'm going to try and give you as much information as possible so that if you're looking for a great budget option for portable power, you'll know whether the VTOMAN is right for you. So if you want to learn more about the FlashSpeed 1500, stay tuned.
Understand where it came from, but you got it, my got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you give to me. Loosening my grip.
All right, guys, so I'm going to kind of dive into all the features of this thing. I'm going to start by talking a little bit about specifications. So technically the capacity of this thing is 1,548 watt hours. That is expandable to double that, or 3,096, via a stackable battery addition. So the other thing doesn't have the fancy screen like this. It is literally just another LiFePO 4 battery. This is a LiFePO battery, which is great. You can expect about 10 years worth of use out of that. But you can buy a second one that will stack on top of here and basically double the capacity of it while using this one screen as sort of your control panel and these as your ports. So I love that it's expandable and it gives you those options. So they do claim that after 3,000 cycles, you will still have 80% of life left in the LiFePO 4 batteries. So that is pretty good to know. I mean, I go quite a bit, and if I'm lucky, I maybe spend 50, 60, 70 nights in the woods a year. So I should get quite a bit of use out of this thing. That's, I think, where they come up with that 10-year lifespan for these batteries, but still pretty cool. Now, one of the crazy things, and I'll throw up a video over top of here that I did in my house, is that when I got this thing, it was at 83%. And when I got it, I immediately plugged it into the wall, and it started pulling 1,600 watts to charge it. And it charged from 83% to full in about 5 minutes, which was crazy to me. But the more that I dug into it, this thing actually is intended to do that. If you have a home socket, you're charging this off your wall at home, it will pull around 1,500 watts and charge this thing from totally flat to full in about an hour, which is crazy. But at least it's nice that, like, if you forget to charge it or something, you're getting ready to leave on a trip in an hour or two, you can plug it in, you can charge it all the way to full, versus a lot of the power banks I've had will take hours and hours, maybe like 4 to 6 hours to charge at, 125 to 150 watts coming out of the wall. So pretty nice that this thing charges that fast. Very surprising to me. So then, of course, diving down here to the front, we'll look at all the ports here. So you've got AC input, which that is where I plugged in my wall socket that gave me, that 5-minute fast charge time. Then you've got this solar input, and it will take up to 400 watts there. And then you've got a DC input that'll push up to 200 watts into the battery. Now then, down here for outputs, you've got a DC, so sort of a typical standard cigarette style plug. Then you've got a couple of barrel plugs down here. So if you had those type of devices that take those barrel plugs, that'd be handy. Then you've got 4 USB-A's. You've got 2 USB-C's right above that, which nowadays is pretty standard and great to have. And then you've got 3 AC plugs over here that will put out 1,500 watts and I think 3,000 watts peak. So if you needed to run something big that's going to have high consumption rates on AC, this should be able to do it. So tonight, for instance, I'm going to be running a portable AC unit because it is very hot. I'm sweating and it is very humid here. But so this thing should be able to run that no problem. Now, another neat thing is, and it's optional, but if you buy a jumper cable for this, then it does have an output for that, and you could use this to jump your car. And then finally, this thing down here is the extra battery port. So if you did do that expandable battery, you would basically connect it via this plug right here, stack it on top, and then that is going to give you the ability to pull from that capacity into this controller and run everything that you want to run. So now they do say, as far as charging goes, again, on the wall outlet, you can charge this thing in as little as an hour. On a car outlet, it takes about 12 to 14 hours, and you do get a plug for that as well, plus this AC plug. Then if you're charging off of the 400 watts worth of solar, then it will take about 4 to 8 hours. So that's pretty nice to know that if you've got 400 watts of solar, which they do sell this with a solar panel, so you could get that solar input if you wanted to, if that worked better for your setup. You could charge this thing in about 4 to 8 hours from solar, which is pretty cool. Now, also included with it, I did get a USB-A to USB-C and a USB-C to USB-C, which is just kind of nice that you could use this as dedicated cords to charge a phone or charge whatever devices you've got. Another cool thing is there's this sort of storage spot on the top, which I actually intend to use this to keep my cords in it, right? So that way I don't have to worry about where are my cords. They're just always going to be stored in the top here, so that then whenever I get home and I want to charge this thing, boom, I just pop this thing open and I've got all my cords that I need right there. This thing does weigh a fair amount, and I'm going to put the weight up here on screen. I'm also going to put the dimensions width-wise, depth-wise, and height-wise up on the screen here. But again, if this is, because of the capacity of this thing, this could be your only power bank, right? You don't need to bring multiples of these when you've got 1,500 watt hours worth of capacity. You can run a lot of stuff for a very long time on this power bank, which is really awesome. It does have a built-in fan, so I have noticed that especially when charging at 1,500 watts, it does kick on and it will automatically regulate and protect the battery. This also has built-in battery management, so it's going to protect you from overcharging, over discharging. You know, if you hooked up a power tool or something that was pulling too much power, it's going to do its best to protect the battery and keep you from doing anything to damage it, which is just a nice touch. Most of these have that, but this one does have it as well. So another couple of things to point out about this thing are that it does come with a 2-year warranty, which is more than most of these type of things that I've seen online. And I've heard of VTOMAN, kind of seen them around online. So they are a company that has some sticking power, which is nice. You get a 2-year warranty. You also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you got this thing home and it didn't work for your setup or whatever, you can return it. You can work with them to get it returned. So that's kind of nice that they do that as well. Shipping is also free on their website. I know a lot of people, especially nowadays with Amazon, get annoyed when you have big shipping costs, and because this thing is so heavy, that is a nice savings, because it probably costs 50, 60, 80 bucks to ship this thing to you, but they don't charge for shipping. Again, with that fast charge, man, I've had multiple power banks and I've never had a power bank with 1,500 watts of capacity that can charge in an hour from flat to full. So that is really, really impressive. So as far as function goes, I'm just going to show you sort of a test here. I'm going to use one of the cables that they included with it. I'm going to use whichever one I grab here, USB-A to USB-C. And I'm going to use that to charge this little wearable fan thing that I've got sitting here. So let's plug this thing in. So I'm going to put it into the quick charge port here. And then I'm just going to plug it into the USB-C on the bottom of this thing. And we are just going to see what kind of power this thing pulls. So now, like a lot of these power banks, you do need to select the section that you want to turn on. So like right now we've got the display going, we can see the capacity, but we have not engaged the USB. So I'm going to click it and it's going to say USB-C and USB-A are on. And then it's going to start to show you the usage, right? So right now it's pulling 8 watts to charge this little fan thingamajiggy. 7-8 watts, and it shows that we can get 99 hours on this amount of battery that we've got at that 8 watts. So we've got tons of capacity. If you start to run something that pulls more power, of course, that's going to change dynamically to show you how much time you've got left. The same is going to work for this DC plug over here. If you want to turn that on, you click that, and you're going to see the DC comes on there. If you want your AC on, you click that. And there's the fan. You can hear that kicking on. So it's going to automatically protect itself. If it starts to get hot, it's going to turn on its fan, and it's going to run the inverter to run this AC plug. So we're not going to use that right now, so I'm going to turn that off, but I'm just going to let this thing charge for a little bit, and then we're going to wrap up this video. All right, guys, so that was the VTOMAN FlashSpeed 1500. This thing is a heck of a power bank. This thing has a ton of options and could work for a number of needs. Not to mention the fast charging is incredible, like unbelievable. I couldn't believe it compared to my other 1,500 watt hour battery bank that I've got that charges at about 120, 125 watts. This thing charges at over 1,500 and can charge from flat to full in an hour. So that's crazy. But anyways, this is a great option if you're looking for something that can do it all, basically, right? This thing could do pretty much anything that you need. It should be able to run a fridge for a really long time, a diesel heater. You should be able to use it to charge multiple devices. So again, if you're looking for one thing to do everything for your camp setup, but you want it to be portable and modular and removable, this might be a good option for you. So I will put a link in the description below to it, of course. If you want to pick one up, that makes finding it really easy. I'll also put a discount code down there if I have one, so that it can save you a few bucks. So hopefully that's helpful. If it was helpful, click that like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure to click that subscribe button, click the bell to be notified when new videos drop. I do a couple every week, and I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and there's tons of great content and information here on gear and general overlanding, and even do-it-yourself and budget-minded modifications for overlanding vehicles. Also below this video is a join button, which is just sort of a passive way to support the channel. It gets you early access to the videos and some other perks. So if that sounds good, check that out. Or if you want a more involved way to be a part of all things overlanding, there's also a link to my Patreon group. The Patreon group is awesome, tons of awesome people in it, and we have a 24/7 Discord where we chat about our rigs and our vehicles and our gear. We also do a once-a-month Zoom call, and we're getting together once or twice a year to hang out, which has been a ton of fun. So definitely check that out if you're interested. And then, of course, there's a link to my website where I've got funny overlanding camping-themed patches and stickers, things like "Don't burn your wiener" and "It's a hot dog," or "I hate people so I camp." So definitely check that link out. And then last but not least, there's a link to the Newbie Overlanders Facebook group, which is totally free to join, full of awesome people. If you're newer to overlanding or if you're experienced and just tired of the big groups and all the bullying, this may be a good place for you, and we'd love to have you there as well. But again, I hope that was helpful talking about the VTOMAN FlashSpeed 1500. Make sure to click that subscribe button, click that like button, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.